That's all. So once again, as I say, the mentioning and or acknowledgement of a reality is not the same as a support or a justification of said reality.
What up, y'all? I'd like to welcome y'all back to Humble City Real. Sure, I talk about things that I like, things I don't like, things I know, things I think I know, and of course everything and anything and whatever else falls in between. Yeah, keeping this joint going for the new year. The fifth one for the 2023. The fifth for the 2023. Back at it. Keeping this joint rolling. Without further ado, kicks of the day. It's gonna be University Blue Fours. University Blue Fours. Those are the kicks of the day. Got that out the way. Let's get into it. Public service announcement, right? Public service announcement. For those of you, those of us, those of you, those of us who, are married, who are in a committed relationship. I'm not going to discriminate against boyfriend, girlfriend, and whatever else have you. If you're just in a committed relationship, you have a significant other. I'm going to urge you all to please stop cheating. You hear me? Stop cheating. Now, I know some of y'all might say, whoa, I'm not cheating. Are you? Are you not? Well, here's a bit of news for you all. I believe I'm guilty of cheating. I do. I believe I am very guilty of cheating. That may come as a surprise to some of you all, but yes, I have been unfaithful. Yes, I have. I believe a lot of us have. More than what we may have think. More than what we may think, rather. That would be the way we want to say that. A lot of us have been very unfaithful. And, when I'm speaking of this, I'm not talking about the fornicating fashion. Of course, we all know that we shouldn't do that, right? We shouldn't be out here stepping out with, another person on the outside of our partner. We shouldn't be doing that. We all know that, right? What I'm getting to is, I had a video, and I'm gonna put it up there because I want y'all to go back and look at my old catalog. But there's a video I once had. It's called "The Cost of Living," and in that video, I kind of described some of the other variations of currency that we will spend that's outside of just cash money, and it was the energy and time. Those are other forms of currency, right? So when I say to stop cheating, and when I say I am guilty of cheating, one of my things would be the time, and that's what I think what a lot of us fall into that category, is not dedicating the proper time to our relationship. There's times I get off work, and I think a few of us may fall in the same category. I'm quite sure. You get off work and you be like, today was whatever, whether it's a good day, typically on your bad days, and you're like, let me stop, have me a little, drink or something, a little rough one, say you and your colleagues may stop, peers, co-workers, whatever you may refer to them, or you might meet up with other friends, and, you would do that, and that's fine. But how often are we doing that, right? Another version of it would be, sometimes I may come home, and, speak to the wife. Hey, baby, how you doing? How was your day? So forth. And, I'll come down to the basement, jump on the video game and start playing the video game for some time, whatever, whatnot, right? That's fine, whatever sources of entertainment, one may have as an individual, though, that's cool. But how much time are we splitting between our vices, our self-care, if we will, self-maintenance, and in some cases our I would say, maybe, I don't want to say self-destruction, but to our unproductive, selfish activities, right? And when I say selfish, of course, selfish is always used in a negative connotation, but as my one cousin, I would tell him, I said, one of your best traits is you have a certain sense of selfishness. And, you know, most folks want to look at that as a good thing. It's always going to be put into a bad thing, bad place. Everyone wants to be selfless, which of course you do. But sometimes, you know, sometimes you just got to be about yourself at certain particular moments in time. Should you always be that way? No. But sometimes we do. But I digress. Yes. When you find yourself in that space where, you know, you're floating more towards your vices or your own type of your own, too much of your me time, you, sir or ma'am, are guilty of cheating on your significant other. Now, can go both ways where, you know, you both are stepping out on each other, if we want to use some of the vernaculars when we talk about the physical and fornicating ways. Yes, you could be in a relationship where you're both stepping out on each other. But ultimately, when you come together to become one, we have to put back that energy back into each other. We have to put that time and energy back into each other to make sure that this thing continues to flourish. It's called the maintenance, if you will. We have to take care of said relationship. I know at times I would see myself and I would look and I'm like, dang, I've been doing this for however many hours. Side note, no, fuck that, ain't no side note, it's part of it, right? That in itself, when we're doing things like that, and we're constantly, you know, take a sip of water. That in itself is a form of how we are dealing with our depression, right? And it gets to a point where it's not necessarily helping. Those of us who know that, you know, sometimes you think you want to drink the pain away. And a lot of us do resort to those vices, you know, and this kind of gets more maybe into more of a, you know, we're leaning towards substance and substance abuse. But us dedicating that time, right, to those things, if we pursue those too much and dedicate too much time for those type of things, you know, i.e. your hobbies, if it's, you know, even to the point where, you know, we think of a positive hobby like going to the gym, working out, those things are beneficial and they're, you know, however, we do understand that we do have to, you know, bring back and dedicate that time to our significant others. During those times, you are falling into a space of possibly of combating or attempting to combat a form of depression or anxiety and things of that nature. I know a lot of people may not be a fan of the guy Vlad or whatnot, but he had mentioned that and wanted in something, I think on a tweet that he had, and, you know, people had their 1-2 and had to say, you know, 2 cents or whatnot. And I kind of felt him on that though. You know, being, you know, heavily involved in certain hobbies, so much so, it could be a form of dealing with depression. Video games. A lot of guys, some guys don't play video games, you know. Some guys do, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know, you're gonna have those people who try to say things, you know, you're like, I don't understand how a man can play video games, they're for kids, and, you know, it's like, you know, just stick to the place and saying that you just don't understand or you choose not to understand, right? But for every vice or for every hobby, there comes a time where you have to be responsible with said vice, hobby, activity.